Hey guys, this is Anastasia, and this video is for the YouTube Pagan Challenge. I know my videos, just on the whole, have been kind of few and far between, but especially YouTube Pagan Challenge. I'm not forgetting. I am not letting it go. I'm going to catch up. So, with that in mind, this video is for the subject of altar tools. What do you use? What do you like? All that fun stuff. I usually watch a few people's videos just to kind of get an idea of what's really being looked for within the message on these, and I haven't had time to do that, so I apologize. Kind of going off the cuff here, but I thought instead of going through all the tools I have, all the tools I want, what they all mean to me, blah 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 blah, I thought I would instead focus a bit and talk about the two tools that I absolutely love, so much so that I can't choose one over the other, and that would be candles and incense. Now, I know that's going to be a shocker for anyone who watches my crafting videos. No, it's not, because that's what those are things I love crafting. I love making candles. I love making incense. And those are the things, like if I do have a formal circle to do with, like my witchy sister in arms, those are the two things that I make all the time. It's like, oh, I make a Sabbath candle. Oh, I will make a Sabbath incense. I love doing it. For me, creating those things, as well as using them, as well as burning them, as well as having them, connects me to spirit like nothing else. There is nothing that just speaks to me the way fire does. And I know, shocker, because I'm a fire sign. And that resonates for me. I know there are some people that are like, you know, I'm a water sign and I don't connect, or I'm an earth sign and it doesn't make sense. I'm a fire sign and it makes total sense. Well, I'm a Sagittarius and it makes total sense. But fire is definitely my element. Even if I was a Cancer or a Virgo or what have you, fire would be my element. Yeah, I'm not going to touch that one. Just let's roll with it. And then my moon sign, oddly enough, is Gemini, which is air. And air and earth kind of have this war that wages between them over what is my secondary element that I really connect with. Fire will always be number one, and then air and earth kind of fight for dominance for the number two spot. Sorry, water. I struggle, but definitely earth and air do. And the funny thing is, the way that I utilize candles and incense, well, fire and incense, really does still connect to earth as well, because what do you make incense out of? Oftentimes it's herbs and plants, and even resins can come from, you know, the earth to one degree or another. And what is it that I like putting in my candles? Herbs and flowers and crystals. And a way that I utilize fire for divination is oftentimes reading embers in a bonfire. That is my favorite thing to do. It's the first form of divination I learned, and I just instantly connected to it. If I read tarot, if I read oracle, if I read the witch's runes, all of those things I can second guess myself on. I go, I think this is it, but I'm not sure. More so with tarot, witch's runes or witch's runes. But I never second guess myself when it comes to embers. I know that. I feel that. There's a connection there that is much more deep and primal than anything I can explain. And that again deals with the earth as well as air and fire and smoke. Scrying with smoke I really love doing as well. So yeah, earth, air, and fire are present in my two favorite tools. I instead of saying just fire, I feel like I need to say candles, just because in ritual tools. I have them inside my house. I have them outside my house. It's the one thing that I can bring into circle, whether it's a circle with other people or just a solitary circle. So yes, candles and incense. I don't think I could witch without them. They are the way that I can meditate, and really connect to something so much deeper than anything I can explain, and so much more primitive within me and primal. And I've said that before in this video, so I'm sorry I'm repeating myself. But it does. It connects me to this other part of me that I can't access otherwise. I love crystals, and I love my wands, and I love my athame, and I love my drinking horn, because I have grails or chalices or cups or what have you on altars and shrines throughout my home. But if I go to a circle or have whether solitary or in a group, it's my drinking horn that I'm using. I love my drinking horn. But if I don't have a candle burning, if I don't have incense going, it doesn't feel complete. And I think when we're working with tools, tools are so much about aesthetics. I think they're really about pomp and circumstance almost. It's a way of focusing intent through shinies, and it helps especially when we're kind of learning the ways, especially with ritual work. I'm still so noobish when it comes to ritual work. I know my rituals, but if I enter a circle with a group, I'm like, I don't necessarily know what I'm supposed to be doing or how I'm supposed to be doing this. But having that athame to hold out to call the quarters, or the wand, having the besom to kind of sweep away the negativity, it helps me to focus. It helps me to calm my nerves and my anxiety, because as many of you probably know, huge anxiety on this end, especially when it deals with circles with other people. Like, oh gosh, what are you thinking? What am I doing wrong? What should I be doing better? And those ritual tools help me so much to focus. And other tools, like if you use divination tools in circle, that's something that I've kind of recently started doing. If you have tarot cards, if you have oracle cards, if you have, scrying balls or mirrors or pendulums, things like that, they can give you messages you wouldn't normally get. Like, it's awesome, all the things you can do with these tools. But when all is said and done, if you need to enter a circle, or if you need to just connect to spirit, or if you need to just do a working, you don't need everything. You just need you. I don't need an athame to call the quarters, or a wand to call the quarters, depending on what you do. I can just use my finger or my hand and hold it out, and I will call them. If I want to cast a circle, again, I can use my finger. I can visualize. I can say the words. That is where the meaning comes from. That is where the intent comes from you. The tools for me, and again, I don't mean to say this is how it is. If you don't believe this, you are wrong, because that's bull. Anyone tells you however you resonate is wrong, or, oh, you don't resonate the way I resonate, you're obviously not knowledgeable enough or skilled enough or whatever. Bullshit. And excuse my language, but it is what it is. That's wrong. You need, as I say, don't let anyone tell you they're wrong. I'm yelling it's wrong. But you know what I mean. I think for me, tools are great. I love tools. I am definitely one of those magpie witches that love shinies. And I love collecting them, and I love having them, and it makes you feel more witchy. I love seeing people's witchy spaces and altars and shrines. For those of you that are, I'm a pagan, I'm not a witch. I get it. I am sorry, I don't mean to offend. But I love seeing those sacred spaces. I love seeing what people have and how they have it. And it looks so cool. And I always use the word as, oh, it looks so witchy. I do. I'm sorry. I need to work on that. But the reality is we don't need all of those tools. We don't need all of those things. They are tools. They are things to help us connect to spirit. They are tools. They are things to help us connect to intent. And with that in mind, I know flat out I don't need any of it. But with that said, if I had to forego everything, it would be so hard to get into that field, into that moment, into that spectrum, into that space within myself, if I did not have a flame and incense. Those are two things that, although I know they're superfluous, I know they're not needed, they help me connect so quick and just instantly to parts of myself that I don't realize are there most days. And it's just instantaneous connection that they have to be my favorite tools. And they have to go on my list of things that, you know, if I had to witch without everything, man, I would miss the crap out of them. I would be so bummed. And that's such an understatement. And I think that's why when it came to crafting, those are the two things that I wanted to learn right off the bat, because they connect me to spirit so well, because they are my personal connectors. I want to create them. I want to make them. I want to put myself back into these tools that have helped me so much. Yeah, I need to get back to doing these videos because they just give me such insight to my own thoughts and practices that I don't normally give myself pause to think about. Man. Okay. I think I'm going to leave it there because I feel really good right now and I have a lot of crafting to do when I get home. So this is a good place to end. So yeah, long story short, my two favorite ritual tools or altar tools, because I can't choose just one, would be tied between incense and candles or fire of some sort. Thanks, guys. Blessed be.